Thank you, family. Welcome again. This is Just People. As always, you guys are, it's another one that we're giving you guys. I'm so glad, so happy to see you guys. And on this platform, you guys already know what this platform is for anyone and everyone. This platform is just two people that exchange ideas, opinions, right? Sometimes we're experts, sometimes we're not, but we're just free thinkers putting it out there, and also really wanting to impact people that do not see, do not know that other people like us exist, think like us. They can get a different view of things, right? Or subjects, and people that think like us but do not know that other people think like them as well. So they can find people that think alike and not feel like they are alone in this whole wide world of many billions of people. And today we have something incredible for you guys. But before I introduce all of that, I would like to say something, and then I'm gonna give it to Shadia here. But I would love for you guys to right now, guys, comment, subscribe, like our video. I mean, that's the way we can continue doing this. That helps us a lot to put this out for people to learn with us as we grow. And our subject today is, are you guys ready? Is our nutrition making us sick? Okay, now I'm gonna give it to my co-host, my beautiful co-host, Shadia, please. And get in, introduce yourself, but you already introduced, you known internationally, but just come in and tell us a little bit about you and everything else.
All right, thank you, Makonzi. As always, you open up so well. That's why, I like to wait so that I can get that grand opening, that, grand intro. And as always, I appreciate being here. I'm grateful to be here. And before we dive into this very interesting topic, I also want to remind everybody to like, subscribe, and comment. All of those can be done below, but a click of a button. It is free. It takes 1 second or less to do. Please do that. Look out for your people. We would greatly appreciate that, and we'll keep the content rolling. With this topic, it's a fun topic. Did you want to start out, or you wanted me to start out?
You can jump in. I feel like you got so much to give us, so I know you good. I mean, you can go and then come in and then, okay. Cool.
This topic is super pertinent to me right now because I'm on a health and wellness mission at this point to reverse the negative effects that my health and nutrition had before I became a little more conscious of ways to care for my body. So the topic is, our nutrition making us sick? It's a broad topic, but it can be narrowed down very simply. And the very simple answer to that is yes. The very simple answer to that is, it is most certainly 100% making us sick. It is making us, it's taking us out of our natural state of purity and cleanliness, and it is placing us into a state of heaviness, of poison and toxicity and toxins and so forth. And it's all starting with what we're putting in our mouths. That being said, like I said, I'm on a health and wellness mission myself. And I say mission because I like journey too. A lot of people say health and wellness journey. But a journey to me is something that ultimately comes to an end. And for me, this is something that I'm continuing. I plan to continue. It's not something I plan to get to a certain place and just stop it. This is a lifestyle change. And with that, I've been doing a lot of reading, a lot of listening to Makonzi's advice and other people around me who are a little more well-versed when it comes to health and nutrition. And I've been able to pinpoint a lot of the various ways that I personally was making myself sick with, the foods I was eating, the drinks I was drinking. You know what I mean? All of that, the things that I thought were just, I just pop this in my mouth, whatever. Not knowing that once it's in my system, it's breaking down, it's doing different stuff to my different body parts, and I'm feeling those effects. Last year when I got my physical, my doctor said I was not just obese, he said morbidly obese. So that phrase, morbidly obese, is scary to hear.
Wait. What? Say that one more time. Say that one more time. What did he say?
My doctor told me I was morbidly obese.
I gotta write this
down. Write it down, and understand that is a scary diagnosis to have. That is a scary, I'm trying to read it so I can give it a dictionary definition of what it is. It's a disorder involving excessive body fat that increases the risk of health problems. So that being said, he was letting me know if you don't do something about your weight, you will basically eat yourself to death. So yeah, the nutrition is making us sick. And furthermore, the gimmicks that are associated with reversing that are even worse sometimes than what we're doing. Then they put all these different things out there and say, oh, well, this will help you get better. Sprinkle this on your food and it'll curb your appetite. Or, take these pills and it'll burn fat instantly, and you're like, okay. But ultimately, before doing all of those things, you can consult Mother Earth. You can consult the things that naturally occur within our world that can benefit our bodies. So yeah, I'm gonna get to rambling if you let me go too far. So yes, our nutrition is making us sick, and it is because we have lost track of the nature that is associated with our bodies and the earth, the natural, I guess, connection that's provided. Mother Earth has everything we need to put into our bodies without ever altering it. If you so choose to do it that way.
All right.
That's it for now, because I don't want to go in too long. I just wanted to give that little,
a little some. No, I just wanted to say, guys, right before this, we had Shadia and I had a conversation actually about just nutrition and how important when it comes to nutrition it is for you to actually take care of your liver, of your intestines. So a lot of the glands that we have that are within ourselves, inside of our bodies, you need to, eat the proper food, treat it properly. So in order for them to function properly. Now, one of the things that I wanted to go over when it comes to this is that we have seen in our cultures, all around the world, how the culture of food has changed and has become more of like a consumer kind of culture around food than really nutrition, right? You are seeing it in America, you're seeing it in Africa. I mean, those are the two continents that I'm very familiar with, where people are eating either to survive, or they're just eating without knowing what is actually good for their bodies. So Let me quickly touch on something that I saw a couple years ago. I saw a documentary of someone. I think he was called. I'm sure maybe Shadi also has seen it. Super Size Me. Okay, where this individual went and decided to eat multiple meals a day for a certain period of time. I believe it was like a month or something like that. At McDonald's, right? Or Burger King, one of those two.
Yeah.
And but by the end of it, the problems that he ended up having within his body, the malfunctions, and the doctors being like, we don't know what's going on, but you got all these problems, uh, was really impacted me in a way that I was like, okay, you have to be mindful of what you're putting in your body. Now, knowing my culture, knowing a little bit of some of the Black American culture as well, where people have families, people have the tendency to overeat, right? When they go to a place, it's or you know they gather together, or someone in the family cooks. It's like, okay, I'm going to eat until I am overfilled. And not only that, but the food that is used, um, non-organic food, we're gonna go into that later. The type of oils, a lot of frying, you know, the method of cooking is also not the best type of method. Adding things into the food, because Shadia was telling me something that we don't even when we cook food, we're not necessarily taking things out. We are just restructuring it, right? But what we end up doing is we're adding things, right? Because we're okay, I'm gonna put a bunch of sugar, you know, the natural sugar that's in that food is not enough for us anymore. The natural salt that's in that food is not enough for us anymore. And I'm gonna give you guys an example by myself. I went through an event in my life where a health event in my life where I had to change completely the way I eat. Okay. And when I ended up having to change the way my diet and everything else, it was very hard for me in the beginning, right? Because in my new diet required and advised that you do not add any kind of spices to your food, okay? And knowing myself, knowing where I come from, African descent from Africa, mom cooks, you know, puts all kinds of condiments in the food, puts all kinds of spices in the food. Everything has to be extra spicy. It was hard. I mean, like just going through that, letting go of salt, just in general. I cut out salt, I cut out sugar, all of those things. It was really, really tough to get to enjoy my food. And just a couple of days ago, I'm sitting there and I'm eating fish that my mom had cooked. And she doesn't put anything for me, right? Any spices. And as I'm eating this fish, I'm like, wow, this is exactly what the doctor that I'm following, the diet that I'm on, was speaking about, right? He was saying, and it's a she was saying that as you progress, you are going to start tasting the food itself. You're gonna know what the food tastes, and you're gonna enjoy the natural taste. So with everything said, you know, going to what ended up happening to me as well, I had to change my food into eating organic food as well. So I had to proportion my meals, also eat organic food, because my symptoms were kind of like IBS-ish, SIBO ish, kind of symptoms, where it has to do with your intestines, and it has to do with your liver, as well as Shadia spoke to me about. And that the process of me learning was incredibly tough, because I kept eating the GMO food, the genetically. Let's get this straight. Like Shadia told us, you want things that are natural, right? Like
Mhm.
Mother Earth, the earth has everything here to heal us, to make us feel proper, and to sustain us and nurture us. Why do we need to go into a lab to create certain things for our own bodies that are not, for us, that are artificial? And so when I was eating this GMO food, my body kept on, feeling a certain way, right? Like not well. I would have like hives on my body and so on and so forth. And
Mhm.
not to go too much into it. And I didn't understand what was happening until I changed to organic food and made the proper changes. Now, fast food, in our culture today, a lot of us don't have enough time, and that's one of the reasons. And I kind of touched on this too, is like what we end up doing, like the environment that we're in as well, right? So if you don't have a lot of time because you have to work one job, two jobs, by the time you come home, maybe you have kids, it's tougher for you to eat and sustain yourself properly, right? So we end up resulting to eating foods that are, from fast foods or restaurant foods. And some restaurants are very good food, but some of them are not necessarily the proper kind of food that you want to eat, for a prolonged period of time, right? And also you have to have a balance of all the food groups if you can, and the best things I think is vegetables, but um that ends up impacting us. But we have to stay aware of this, right? We got to try to stay aware of this and make the efforts to cook ourselves our food, because nowadays you have SIBO. SIBO is a sickness that I didn't even know existed, and people, when they talk about it, like Dr. Ruscio as an example, um when they speak about it, it's like sometimes they don't necessarily have a way to completely take it out. And what it is, if I can remember, it's a um, uh, 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 small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, I believe. Yes. So there's a lot of bacteria in your bacterias in your intestines that end up, building up, and then the gas that they produce, cause constipation, can cause bloating. I mean, feeling like you can't eat anything, feeling like you're unable to breathe. Those are kind of the different things that we had. But nutrition is part of it. Sleep is part of it. We also need to remember exercising. A lot of us don't exercise. We have cars, everybody jumps in the car and goes to work. And today, especially, you got to think about this. You're eating that type of food, and then you're working from home. A lot of us are working from
Mhm.
home nowadays, and this is just becoming the new normal, where we're all going to be more inside than outside, which we should be more outside than inside, not hustling and bustling, but actually enjoying nature. Nature can heal us in a natural way. And we had this conversation with Shadia the other day as well, where just grounding can have positive effects on our bodies. So that, looking at all of these different things, environmental factors like the pollution and so on and so forth, the way they grow the food, when you look at how some of these farms have they're farming the fish, how they're farming our the chicken and so on and so forth, eating themselves and this and that. The antibiotics, that was another thing I wanted to talk about. Antibiotics that are not natural antibiotics. You have natural antibiotics that you can use, right? Oil of oregano, so on and so forth. But these antibiotics that end up building a certain type of I forget what you call it, like you have resistance to it, after taking it so many times. So that all adds up to going against us. And I'm thinking that the only way we start understanding this is by taking our time, learning to love ourselves, and learning. There's a concept where they say living minimalistic, right? Living on a minimal everything. We don't need so much. Consumerism is taking us, I got to run here to get this money and so on and so forth. And we end up causing harm to our own nutrition and so on and so forth. Shadia, do you have anything else you wanted to say about this right now? Or
I have a
because I
lot
know
more to say.
we have another 6 minutes, but if you want, we can wrap it up now.
Real quick, because I jotted some stuff down while you were talking.
Drop that real fast.
Real quick.
Right.
Real quick. I'm gonna flow through it, because I can get a little. Okay. So one thing you said that stood out was the consumer culture that we have, and eating beyond our fullness and so forth, and eating beyond our capacity. So I was born and raised Muslim. I practice Islam now in my everyday life. And one of the things that is known to Muslims is that the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, who we work to emanate in our lifestyle, he ate to nourish his body, but he didn't go beyond that. So it's 1/3 food, 1/3 drink, and the other third, he just left it, and that should be a practice. Just nowadays, when we eat, we get stuffed, and then if you eat and you're not stuffed, you feel unsatisfied. You're like, oh, I'm not full yet, let me go back for a second, or I'm not full yet, that food wasn't very fulfilling. Like you go to a restaurant and the portions aren't humongous, and all of a sudden you feel like you didn't get no more bang for your buck. So that was one thing I want to say, that consumer culture, that take until you're at capacity. It's not, you don't need to do that. Another thing you said was, in the beginning, when you started your health journey, it was very difficult on you. And seeing as though I'm right at the beginning of mine, I'm smack dab in the beginning, still feeling the effects, of my body detoxing. It is very difficult, but it also brings to light the unhealthy relationship I've had with food for so long, like very unhealthy relationship. You know what I mean? Like when you said something about eating a fish, and it was like, I taste this fish, and this fish by itself is delicious. I'm so used to adding all this stuff to enhance my food But if you take a second and just appreciate the food and the nourishing qualities it has for your body, you start to see eating in a more healthy manner. Your relationship with food should not be one of, I have to alter this and put sugar and salt and all this stuff on it to make it better. It's good already, but you have been programmed to believe that add some sugar to this fruit, make it a little sweeter, add some salt to this food. And there's nothing wrong with using a little bit of salt, but we do it in excess, just as all things in our culture, most of us, we do it excessively, like excessive amounts of salt, excessive amounts of it. And then it ends up being like, when you get to a point that you're not using it excessively, then the food is bland and the food doesn't have any taste and it's not really that good, or you're cooking like a white person. That's what Black people always have to stand and joke is that, your food is bland.
We love everybody.
For a white person. We do love everybody. I mean, I just mean like within the Black community, that's always the joke is that basically white people underseason their food, but technically underseasoning is actually beneficial. It's more beneficial than what we be doing. We dump a whole bunch of crap into it and alter its state. But yeah, I just want to touch on unlearning the unhealthy habits that we formed and the unhealthy relationship we've had with our food and forming a more positive and beneficial relationship with your food and with your body.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, Shadia, for that. It was wonderful. Again, guys, we are so thankful that you guys press play on this video and that you spent this time with us. We today we kind of have a little bit of a time constraint, but as always, we're not trying to make it too long yet. As we grow, we will go deeper on these different subjects, and these subjects are just so juicy. We're ready to go.
Yes.
We know so much about some of these things, and it touches us personally. And I know you guys watching as well are feeling the same way. You're like, well, have you guys thought about this? And that is why we always say on here, please comment down there. Please comment. Let us know what you're thinking, what else you think we should bring up, what else we've forgotten, or if you see something that you're not happy with, right? Something that you want to comment and say, hey, there's a problem here, or so on and so forth, and we can address that. Thank you so much. Like, subscribe. Again, Shadia, please give us a few words before we go here to close us out.
Okay, like, comment, subscribe, do all of those things to support our channel and share it on your social media as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. Makonzi, thanks for dialoguing with me. It's always a pleasure. It's always a blessing to be able to share your company and share a conversation with you. Peace and blessings to everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you on the next go round.
Thank you, guys. Blessings, love. Again, these are just people, opinions, just our feelings, free thinkers. No, nothing blocking us. We're not getting paid by anybody. We're just talking, having a conversation here, just with love, out of love, and not hate. Always, and no discrimination. One unity, blessing, love. And I wanted to say that I had a question for Shadia that would have been great for us to talk about, and we're gonna talk about it soon, where she's gonna go into it, and I'll kind of sit back and watch. I'm
ready.
She had an incident with her. I'm calling it an incident, but an instance with her daughter going to see the doctor, and I wanted her to kind of share her feelings when all of that ended up happening. But again, thank you so much, guys. We'll see you guys on the next one. Love. Bye, guys.